Tim White, Hamilton Tiger Cats receiver, joins us, and you clearly heard what Ed Hervey said about his superstar comment because you had a tweet that was followed up about it, and it went off, sort of speaking for the players. And you have a relationship with Ed from his time in Hamilton. So, what's your personal definition of a superstar?
My personal definition, I mean, I feel like it varies. Uh, when when I hear the word superstar today, you think of the current players, that you think about. So you're looking at basketball, you're looking at John Morant. If you're looking in the NFL, you're thinking of Justin Jefferson. If you're looking in the WNBA, you're thinking of Angel Reese. Like those are all superstars in their own leagues and professions. So when I hear superstar, I'm thinking, and my tweet really said that we definitely have superstar talent. That means we have the ability to be superstars. And I feel like from that point on, it's really about how we're being marketed and promoted at the end of the day. And I feel like that has a big sequence in how the people see us, in Canada, in the fan base, and all of that stuff.
Levi Mitchell, your quarterback, was saying, like, different markets he goes to in this country, he's recognized,
Yeah.
which would probably fit most people's definitions of a superstar. And if you look up the actual dictionary definition, it's essentially like thriving with what you said within your sport or your genre or whatever
Right.
you're doing. Now, Ed did kind of clear his definition up and said, like, Michael Jackson and Muhammad Ali are his superstars.
Yeah.
To me, those are global icons. I think we're kind of talking about different things there.
Yeah.
But there are multiple superstars in the CFL and have been in the CFL. Like for me, Doug Flutie was a superstar when I was
Yeah.
growing up because he like was this superhuman figure,
Right.
this small dude that was running around making defenses look silly. So I think there are multiple superstars like Levi Mitchell would be one
Yes.
right away that have won multiple MLPs, that have won multiple Grey Cups. And I think we have all stars, like yourself, you've been there playing at the top of the game. So when you think of superstar, do you have to have sustained success?
Um, I think it definitely is sustained success, but it is definitely impact as well. I feel like at the end of the day, it's what's important is being able to move the game forward. It's not holding the game back and saying we don't have this and we don't have that. I feel like if you don't have superstars, then go get some. How can we get some superstars? How can we make some superstars? Can we produce superstars? Those are the questions that you should ask, like as a league, as an organization. Do you have any guys in your, on your team that you believe can be the start of, building a superstar? And that guy may not end up being the superstar, but it might further for the next guy to be the superstar. And I feel like in order to do that, like uh, you got to be able to promote our personalities. You have to be able to promote, lifestyle and things like that. That's what's going to continue to push the league forward. And you might be, you might sign a guy to a certain contract or whatever, and he's highly productive, and you might get a young guy that's like, you know, uh, I'm pretty dang talented, but the NFL isn't giving me this opportunity. I can have a great life in the CFL, going to Canada. I can have great opportunities getting the ball thrown my way or, getting sacks on defense and might just want to stay down here and be here, and help build the game there or be that star and build off of that. I feel like you can't continue to take away from us as players and take away from the game. Eventually, you have to say, how can we start building the game forward and continue to push it forward? And the only way to do that is to believe in the guys that you have. We've all been in locker rooms where, uh, there's Lamar Jacksons and there's, big names like that. And it's like the ability difference is not much different. So what's making them a superstar versus us a superstar? Well, it's how they perceive you, you know?
It's a great definition.
Yeah.
You're in a unique position in reference to Eugene Lewis because you were in a contract negotiation with Ed Hervey in Hamilton, and Ed referenced that it was more of an organizational decision to give you, I guess, the type of money that you got there. Is that what you took from it, and what were those negotiations like with him when you read and listen and hear about what happened with Geno Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like your organization is going to value you uh, the way that they value you, and I can't really speak on Lewis's situation, but for me, at the time, I felt, I was most productive receiver in the league. I was underutilized really for the first 8 weeks of the season, and when Scott came in and I was getting utilized and the quarterbacks were targeting me and stuff like that, I was making those plays, and they were big plays, they were explosive plays that superstars do make. If you go and uh, you look at Jerry Rice, you go and you look at Randy Moss. What's the difference from the plays that they're making that I'm making? So when I sit there, I watch their film and I watch it. I'm like, I do some. If you want someone to go 70 yards for a touchdown, make three guys miss and go 70 consistently, there you go. So if that guy's making superstar plays, what's stopping the league from having a superstar? Nothing. We have superstars here.
Did you feel like it took other people in the Ticats organization getting involved to get that negotiation across the line?
For me specifically,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I believe that there were definitely people that had my back in there, or else I would not have been there. It's been 2 years, realistically, where, I bypassed larger contracts, to stay, with Hamilton because, I love it here and I feel like the opportunity is greater here than it could be anywhere. When you look at us not having a Grey Cup championship from, the span of 99 to now, you're like, okay, do you want to be a part of that? Do you want to knock that down? So that's something that when I first came here, I was like, yeah, like that seems like a great challenge. So I do think that the people in the organization, they believed, there had to be people in there that had my back and they know how I work, and I just want to show up to work every single day and continue to improve, continue to get better, and embrace all the challenges, whatever is in front. Let's go. Let's see.
It seems like you're, committed to Hamilton. You want to break that Grey Cup drought. How much do you hear about it from the fans? Because you know how passionate they are in the Steel City.
Yeah, I mean, I can't necessarily say how much like I hear about it from the fans, uh, but I can say it's something about trying to develop a city that football is really what breathes like championships, and that can bring a big light to your city. So like I feel like if we win more games, if we win a championship, that's gonna instill belief that in younger kids that they can win, even in adults that their children can win. After 25 years, we haven't seen a championship. Let's instill that. Let's go get that ring so everybody knows that there is hope that we can build something in the city.
How much of a legacy do you think it would leave an asset? Because Levi Mitchell was talking about that. And he's
Mm-hmm.
even thought of winning and then walking off into the sunset. You're much younger, so
Yeah.
that's not going to be
Oh
you.
yeah.
But the legacy that it would leave on, like you alluded to, the city and the franchise.
I mean, if you do that, that's it's 25 years. If you do that, that's the biggest thing that you could do. That's the biggest Grey Cup that you could win ever. That's the biggest Grey Cup that you could win for the fans, for the city, for the CFL, for Bo. Bo wins that. That's nobody's done that. Who's done that? Who's ended a 25-year drought at quarterback?
That's a good question.
Nobody's done that with the top receivers in the league. That gives me chills. That gets me excited.
Talking about the top receivers in the league, do you have an individual goal list when you start each season?
Um, yes, number one is championship, winning games. That's number one. Uh, Extremely high on team first, but I'm also very competitive. And when I get out there, I do set a goal. I want to set the goal high, and I'm extremely driven by wins and uh, yeah, just executing at a high level. Yeah.
Does it mean a lot to you to be up there among the receiving leaders, if not at the top in
Oh,
receptions,
that's
yards, and
mandatory.
touchdowns?
Yeah, that's mandatory. That's something I feel like God has blessed me with those type of abilities to where, as long as I continue to put in the work and I continue to put in the focus and the love for the game of ball, that it should happen automatic. So it's really like no pressure to do that. It's something that just it's automatic.
You have a $55,000 report and pass bonus in
Oh,
your
nice.
contract. Have you had a talk with the Ticats about
I haven't
perhaps
spoken with
restructuring
anybody.
that?
I haven't spoken with anybody.
Would you like to turn that into a signing bonus, or are you happy to go
Um,
forward as is
I
into
mean,
25?
whatever they come, if they feel like that's what it is, but it just has to be respectable at the end of the day.
What's it like for you, who is a guy clearly like getting the ball, to add Kenny Lawler into the mix?
I don't think Kenny stops me from getting the ball. I don't think that really hinders me. I feel like we have the ability to be explosive as an offense. I know that I'm going to be explosive when I step out there. We have a great run game. Greg Bell, he might take the ball out of my hands, man, the way that he runs with the ball. So, and that's great. I would love to sprint down the sideline and see him take it 60 yards. So, I just know when I get the ball in my hands, I'm going to be extremely explosive, be extremely detailed. I'm looking forward to it.
Montreal receivers Austin Mack and Tyson Philpott are out here talking about they could have
Yeah,
4,000-yard
we almost did that
receivers.
last year.
Do you think the Ticats could
I mean, yeah,
get there?
we almost did that last year.
Could you have two 1,500-yard receivers, you and Kenny
Absolutely,
Lawler?
absolutely. We don't need that many games to be that explosive.
Who do you see as the team that you need to beat to come out of these?
Well, I mean, you can't overlook Toronto. They have won the Grey Cup within what
Two of the last
two of the
three?
last three. You can't look past them. But all the teams are great. Like the East has always been highly competitive, and I don't think you can look past not one team in the CFL. Honestly, talent is being dispersed and balanced around the entire league. Quarterbacks are getting better. Uh, look, you got Eugene Lewis. You got Hardy on the same team right now. So it doesn't get any easier. But that's the great challenge of playing football.
What's it like playing with Levi Mitchell in terms of him being a legend, climbing the career all-time passing list?
It's amazing to see. It's amazing to see what he did last year. It's amazing to see how he's approaching this year. I feel like he's approaching it even harder, this year. So it's amazing. I think he's going to continue to do great things. And like I said, 25 years. So I don't know if that's been done in history.
How do his legs look? And I say that because he was working out with PJ Walker. Levi was thinking, my legs pretty big, but then I guess PJ Walker's got some pretty big legs too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go too far looking at their legs. Just throw the ball up. No, no, but he looks good, man. It looks like he's in good shape. I was telling him earlier, I'm like, bro, come out to California. Let's get on the beach. Let's get some beach work.
Okay,
So
what kind of training you got on the beach?
Oh, we go crazy on the beach. He would love it. Bo would love it. He might run for 500 yards in a season.
That might be his career total in 1 year.
Bo, 500 yards. Call me on the beach, bro. Just once.